No, thank you very much for coming to see me. As you have rightly said, I've concluded my tour of duty, which I consider to have been very successful one. I came here about 4 years ago as a High Commissioner, Tanzania High Commissioner to the Republic of South Africa, but also accredited to the Republic of Botswana and the Kingdom of Lesotho, the SADC Secretariat. As I said, retired Major General Gaudence Milandzi, and the outgoing Tanzania High Commissioner to the Republic of South Africa.
Oh, thank you, High Commissioner. Perhaps the first one, can you just tell us how your tenure has been in South
Yeah.
Africa? Just
Uh,
brief.
I think by and large, it has been a very successful one.
Yes, yes.
I consider it to be a very successful one in that we have managed to not only maintain the historical relations, but I believe during this time we've taken it even further in many areas. So I should say it has been a very been successful one in many spheres, political spheres, economic and others. Yeah.
And then some of the key highlights of your
Yeah.
tenure.
I think the key highlights, one which is very clear is of course, as I said, increase of relationship
Yeah.
and not only political diplomacy and political diplomacy, but also in economic diplomacy. You know, in international relations, international diplomacy these days, the buzzword is the economic diplomacy. And I think there, both countries have done well during my time. We've managed now to increase the trade. I think we've been doing well in the trade, in investment, tourism, but also in visits. And the visits, not only high-level visits, but also people-to-people contacts. South Africa has been the first port of call to most of Tanzanians. Yes, they come here for various reasons. So I think those were the highlights. Of course, also the hosting of Her Excellency, our President, Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan, who came like this year twice. One a working visit, another one was state visit. Working visit was during the BRICS
Oh,
meeting.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. And then speaking of which, the state visit,
yeah,
we saw it was a very successful one.
yeah.
Perhaps what are some of the developments which have resulted from the state visit?
There's been a very good development, and as you've rightly said, it was a very successful state visit, and there are a number of activities. And thank you very much for the government of South Africa. Our president was very well hosted. You know, he was also bestowed by
Oh,
the,
yes.
the highest honor, but also in terms of the real issue, substantive issues. Yes, there were a number of MOUs which were concluded, but even the ones that were not concluded during the visit, they were also concluded later. What we are doing now, we are continuing taking stock in some of the areas that were concluded, but mainly in the tourism and health, the defense, and economic, as I said, economic and others, diplomatic. So those are the main highlights. The fact that that state visit has actually increased in strength the relationship, the bilateral relationship between the two countries.
Oh. Now,
Yeah,
Excellency, just to wrap up briefly,
yeah,
maybe some of the similarities which exist between
yeah.
South Africa and Tanzania.
Yeah.
what would make Tanzania feel at home in South Africa and a South African feel at home in Tanzania.
Yeah.
Some positive similarities between the two countries.
There are a lot of positive similarities between the two countries. Of course, one starts from the historical, the fact that historically, as you have seen, the history of the two countries' relationship dates back to the time of the liberation struggle, and I've been feeling very much at home. And for me, particularly, I've been going not only to the government areas, but I've been invited to most of the places, the homes, yeah,
Yes.
people's homes. Last week it was I think few months ago, I was with the Solomon Kalusha
Oh, yes,
as a
congratulations.
home.
Yes.
So I've been invited to a number of places, and everywhere I go, I feel very much at home, and I'm very much accepted. So not only at the government level,
Yes.
I think it's also the same even at people-to-people contacts. People still remember the relationship that we have. And at government, I think it has been extremely very well. As the embassy has enjoyed a lot of cooperation from the government here through DERCO. Most of the time we have meetings, everything that we would need, they would be in the forefront to assist us. So it has been a very good one, and I've been feeling very much at home. There have been a lot of cultural exchanges.
Oh, yes.
Most of the tourism exhibitions or indabas here, there have been a lot of participants from Tanzania and vice versa. So it has really been very good, and I expect these relationships to only grow in strength and stature for many years to come, because the foundations has already been laid there by our forefathers.
Yes, yes, certainly.
Yeah.
No, I think for now that is a brief wrap up,
Yeah.
and we thank you and once more congratulations
Yeah.
on completing your service, and we wish you well on
Yeah.
your next step, leaving South Africa and with your future endeavors.